Welcome back. Well, it has been a wild year on college campuses across the country. On Christmas Eve, a professor from Drexel University in Philadelphia tweeted this: "All I want for Christmas is white genocide." Obviously sparking serious nationwide outrage, but now insists his words are simply misrepresented satire. And the list goes on and on.
Yeah, he was just joking. Here to break down the craziest college campus stories of 2016, Cabot Phillips. He's a contributor with campusreform.org. Good to see you.
Morning. Good to be here. I think that professor heard we had a top 5 list of the craziest things for the year, and he wanted to make his last-minute bid. He said, "I got to do something to get on."
He made a strong bid.
It's hard to get on the top 5.
It really is.
So what's number 5?
So number 5, at Campus Reform, all year we've been covering this craziness. There's so much to choose from. It's kind of like picking your favorite Star Wars movie. You know, it's like there's too many good stories to choose from. But number 5, we had a video where we asked young Hillary supporters crazy quotes of Donald Trump's, but they were actually quotes of Hillary Clinton, scandals of Hillary Clinton. And we said, whose are these, Trump's or Clinton? And we can see what happened.
Which candidate said they carry hot sauce with them everywhere they go to, quote, pander to black voters? That's Trump.
Yeah, it's Trump.
All right, so we're going Trump on this one. Yeah. What if I told you the correct answer for all the Hillary Clinton?
Oh. Really?
Oh, wow. Would that be surprising?
That true? Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
That was an unbelievable pandering moment.
That hot sauce comment, that I'll never
hot
forget.
Hot sauce in my bag swag. She was just trying to pull Beyonce. She was trying to pull Beyonce. But
even they said, "You sound like you're pandering to us."
Exactly. She said, "Is it working?" And evidently it was not working.
But also the fact that they were like, the college students like, "Oh, really? Wow."
Exactly.
Let me figure out the facts here.
Exactly. And we know that college students, really young people in general, many voters, they only go off of what they hear in the mainstream media.
Sure.
And of course they weren't giving young voters anything negative about Hillary. It was all positive about Hillary, all negative about Trump.
Worse. All right, what's number 4?
And number 4, we had Rutgers University, where a big poster board, literally a poster board around campus, was telling students not to speak for fear of offending students, and to think twice because they might microaggress against students. And speak
posters there.
To speak only when necessary. So
we had to try that with Pete for a while.
Yeah,
that's why sometimes I sit quiet for entire segments. Like, I can't say anything productive.
How crazy is this?
Come on, colleges are supposed to be a place where your free speech is encouraged and tested, and you're supposed to hear differing opinions, but at Rutgers, apparently, and at other universities, we saw this mentality of anything you say can and will be used against you to offend someone.
Well, these are all funny, but the sad part is that's more widespread than we think. You're using Rutgers as an example, but this microaggression, 2016 was a year where that blew up.
Absolutely. We saw this all around the country at Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, where universities were completely restricting free speech, and they were convincing children, and I'm saying children because they're not treating them like adults. They're convincing students that there is a freedom from hurt feelings in the Constitution. They're not educating them on the importance of free speech.
The NRA was involved in number 3.
The NRA, of course. Everyone loves to beat up on the NRA when anything negative happens. And there was a professor at a community college in Ohio who actually said that he needs to gather up some friends, arm themselves, and go shoot up the NRA until there were no survivors.
Aha.
Actually, on Facebook.
Yes.
He said, look, there's only one solution. A bunch of us anti-gun types are going to have to arm ourselves, storm the NRA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia, and make sure there are no survivors.
Now,
unbelievable.
That's horrible.
The interesting point here is he said us anti-gun folks are going to have to first go and arm ourselves because we know none of them are armed in the first place, which I guess is a silver lining
Which is funny, but then play out some of these awful situations
exactly
we've seen all
and
around the country.
It's completely wrong. It really is awful, and wrong is wrong. But imagine if there was a professor that was saying, you know, we need to arm ourselves and go shoot up a Planned Parenthood, or we need to go shoot up any sort of place like that. It's wrong, and of course this would have had even more headlines if it was a conservative.
It's not funny at all, but the anti-gun folks just grabbing a couple of pistols and storming the NRA headquarters, they're not going to do it.
It would not end well for them. No. Hopefully we don't just see that scene. But
I know. I don't want to see that. Just saying.
It was not the easiest year for Trump supporters. He ultimately won the elections. That might have been the greatest revenge, but on one college campus, it was pretty rough.
Yes, so there was an anti-Trump protest on campus, and so 2 Donald Trump supporters showed up, you know, kind of showing their support.
One was University of New Hampshire?
University of New Hampshire. One was dressed as Harambe. One was honoring Harambe. Fallen, gone but not forgotten.
I have enough Harambe.
And the other was wearing a Richard Nixon mask, kind of jokingly saying, you know, we're
So this was a tweet?
So this was a professor who put this up on Facebook saying, this is the university where I used to teach. And all these current professors got on and said, what can we do to ban these students, to expel them from campus? And so we now have students that are so afraid of expressing themselves politically because they know that professors could literally expel them because of their political beliefs.
And tragically, we see the flag desecrated on campuses.
Yeah, that's number one on your list.
Number one, and this was already probably in our top 5 because at the beginning, the university flew the flag at half-mast when Trump won the election, but it shot to number 1 when they took the flag away from campus altogether for fear of offending students that weren't proud of what the flag stood for anymore.
You pointed that out so well, how far we've fallen when the flag becomes a divisive symbol as something that needs to be banned.
And that flag should be taught to students as something to be proud of because it gives them the right to protest and to be upset about the election results.
Yeah, that deserves to be number 1.
We appreciate it,
Thanks for being
Cabot Phillips,
here.
thanks
Always
a lot.
good to see
Appreciate
you.
it.
President Obama